I do, bro. I just like we was just talking about Big Ox. I don't have any issue with Steph Curry at all. I think Steph Curry is fantastic. I don't think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player.
I got an issue with him. Go ahead.
Well, of course you got an issue with him, and I understand why. 100%. I don't have any issue with him. I think he's a generational talent. I think he's fantastic for what he's done in terms of his ability to change the game and advance the game. Because a lot of people, what they don't talk about is, and I brought this up a long time ago, Big Ox.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is somebody comes along and they change the game, right? Somebody comes along and they change the game, and then somebody else comes along and they advance that change. So, for example, when Doc showed up, right? Doc shows up and, this is the future of basketball. But nobody's really saying that. And the reason why they're not saying that is because Doc played above the rim. It was a playground style, and it wasn't really conducive to what the NBA really should be. When in reality, Doc was the future of basketball. This 6'6", small forward, high jumping, super duper athletic guy playing above the rim. This is what the NBA gonna look like in the next 10, 15 years. Then Jordan shows up, and what he does is he advances that. And then now what you got in the league is you got a bunch of 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" dudes jumping over the rim, high flying, running up and down the floor. Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Kobe Bryant. You got a whole bunch of dudes that's now like that. So then fast forward to the 2000s, where you got the Phoenix Suns, which is the 8-second or less offense, where these dudes is flying up and down the floor. They getting the ball in the basket. They're shooting the long ball, but you can't really win like that, right? You can't really win like that. But this is the future of basketball, by the way, when you're watching this. This is what the game is going to look like in the next 10 to 15 years. You're just going to get a bunch of guys that's running up and down the floor, shooting the long ball, not really guarding that much, but that's going to be what the game is going to look like. Well, fast forward to during that time with Steve Nash and the 8 seconds or less, into Steph Curry and into Klay Thompson. So that's already going on. What these dudes do is they show up and they elevate that. They doing the same thing. They just elevated it. And now Steph Curry, we got more action off the ball. We're shooting more long balls. And we're shooting more long balls further. We're not getting away from the point of what exactly they did. What Phoenix did was they showed you this is a glimpse of what basketball is going to look like in the next 10 to 15 years. Just like Doc did the same thing. But with all of that being said, Steph Curry, as awesome as he is, he did elevate the game. Like when I think about the all-time greats, that's what they did. They elevated the game. They enhanced the game. In terms of changing it, I mean, Steph Curry, he changed it in the aspect that he stretches the defense. You got to play defense different. But in the words of Mr. Zuckerberg from Facebook, you had a good idea. I had a better idea. Right. That's what it was, basically. And this is where it started.
Right.
This is where it started. When I think about people talking to me about him and LeBron James, well, if he gets another championship, I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute. Does all this other stuff not matter? I mean, the fact that James was around and we still talking about him in a championship form, Big Ox, 20 years later. Like, if you're in year 20, you're supposed to be washed. What you still doing here?
That's a fact.
What are you still doing here at age 38 and in year 20? You're supposed to be on a crew, either on the bench or not an integral part of this unit. You're supposed to be maybe a rotation player that's basically a vet that's around. Oh, we're still talking about you as an integral part of us winning the NBA championship in year 20. So what did this dude look like in year 10? In year 10, come on, man, we was talking about something completely different. Completely different. I'm not taking away from who Steph Curry is. 100%. Steph Curry was awesome. He wasn't James good, though. He wasn't.
I don't understand how, because I believe it was Stephen A. who kind of said something along the lines of, if he does this, we take LeBron off the Mount Rushmore.
I couldn't believe
Steph Curry there. I'm having a hard time trying to get around to why does LeBron come off the
Right.
You know,
Of all the people on the Mount Rushmore, James got to come off.
I
Nobody
mean,
else got to come off. He got to come off. Wow.
and mind you, I don't know who's on Stephen A's Mount Rushmore.
Right.
I don't know that, but that's just a weird way to express how great you feel Steph Curry is. Like we can we can praise Steph Curry without talking about bring Braun off the Mount Rushmore. That makes zero sense to me.
And I think it has a lot to do with, one, they're playing in the playoffs right now, and two, they're both the best players. They're two of the best players of their generation. With that also being said, I think James is the best player ever. I don't think he's the best player of his generation. I think he's the best player ever in my lifetime. And I've been watching the NBA since I was this high. My uncle introduced me to the game in 1978 with guys like Walt Frazier, and Frazier was already over by that point, but still, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't look at Steph Curry. When you talk about the best to ever do it, I don't think about Steph Curry as the best player to ever play in the NBA. No, I don't think about him like that. Do I think about him as one of the best players to ever play in the NBA? Absolutely, 100%. But I never thought about him as he's the best player ever. I never thought about him in that conversation. Not one time.
And the thing about it is we've had plenty of conversations where people have said Steph Curry has never been the best player in the league and through his whole career. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole career, LeBron's been here, KD's been here, even James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. These are all guys that at certain times were better than Steph Curry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, it's like how could you be the best player ever?
Well, that's the other thing that I had an issue with when you talk about Steph Curry. And again, I want to make sure that we clear when you talk about Steph Curry, we're talking about a generational talent. Fantastic. The best long ball shooter that I've ever seen. I talked about Ray Allen being the best catch and shoot guy that I ever seen. Well, what's the separation between Ray Allen and Steph Curry? Off the bounce. As there's no defense for a guy who can accurately shoot 25 feet away from the basket off the bounce. There's no defense for a guy like that. Nothing. But with that being said, Big Ox, you being around the game for as long as you've been around the game, and you've seen Steph Curry's career. Yeah. Can you tell me a year where you can undisputably say that's the best player in the NBA?
No. I mean, LeBron's been here his whole career.
Right.
KD's been here pretty much. Yeah, KD's been here his whole career.
Right.
So no, I can't say that. I gotta put respect on Steph Curry.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I can't just lie now.
And again, we ain't talking about Curry and Russell Westbrook. We ain't talking about Curry and Chris Paul. We ain't talking about Curry and Kobe Bryant. We're talking about Curry and LeBron James.
Right.
When you showed up, he was in year 7. That's when you showed up. He was going into year 7. And what he had done up until that point in your first 7 years, pretty significant. What he had done up until that point.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible, man. And I just have a difficult time with the, if they lose this series, which by the way, I can't leave this out, Big Ox, which by the way, so in those series that he played against LeBron James in the finals in 2015, okay, so the Cavs were favored in that. The Warriors were favored in that series, right? In 2016, the Warriors were also favored in that series. In 2017, the Warriors were favored in that series. In 2018, the Warriors were favored in that series. And the reason why they was favored is because you had a better team than he did, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a question of whether or not you had a better team or not, because you 100% did have a better team than he did. No doubt about that. And I said this to you before, Ox. KD doing what KD did. He threw a monkey wrench in everything. 100%.
Oh, yeah. He threw the whole flow off. We was headed to a good place until KD.
Yes, we was. KD threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing.
he set us back a decade.
Straight did that, yo. we on the freeway and we got this joint on cruise control doing 90 with no traffic. KD went and grabbed the emergency brake right in the middle of it. That's what he did. Just threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. Give me a break, yo. Man.
So just like thinking out that I was young, I was dumb. Obviously, I would never, now that my brain works, I would never do something like this now. But I remember when I was like 14, 13, and my sister got her driver's license. And she'll be taking us to school, and when she'll stop at the light, she wouldn't be paying attention. She'll be drinking her Jamba Juice or Starbucks, whatever, listening to her music, and I'll just slide. I would slide the shifter into neutral.
I just do that too. I would do that too.
Sit there and wait, chill. She'd be like, Bobby, what are you? I had to. That's what Kevin Durant did. Kevin Durant do stuff like that. Like that was ridiculous.
I couldn't believe that, man. I just couldn't. The best example I can give you, Big Ox, is you being in high school and you playing for the best team in the city, and then you losing to the second best team in the city, and then you going to get on that crew. After y'all had them dudes in the chokehold, right? Y'all had them do interstate championship. Y'all had them dudes up 20. We got these dudes. And they come back and beat y'all, and Big Ox goes, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to go get that.
Yeah.
Sucker, yo. You such a sucker for that.
It's not in my
Come on,
DNA.
You sucker for that.
No, I had a couple of questions for you, Chilltown, but I got some super chats. So
let's get to them.
Those take precedent. As all y'all know, super chats run the show.
Yeah, they do.
We got some of y'all in the lobby. Once we get through these, we'll start pulling y'all up. Y'all just be patient.
100%.
We'll start off with Daniel Smith. Harden's effort is disrespectful to playoffs.
It's not that it's his effort, and we're gonna get into James Harden for a little. It's not his effort. No, his effort isn't the problem. The problem, Daniel, is that you guys don't want to accept the fact that this is who he is. This is him. That's this. It's really what it is in a nutshell. Big Ox, I'm pretty sure you remember when the Warriors lost. I think it was Game 1 to the Clippers in 2018 in the playoffs, and Kevin Durant, I believe he came on TV and he said, "You guys know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant," which basically says, "Stop acting like it's me. Come on now. Don't let that fool you. It's me." Well, same logic with James Harden. You know him. Stop acting like you don't know him. It's not like this is new. It's not like this thing just happened where you like, damn, what's going on? You know him. You've seen him before. You know who this dude is.
Yeah, it's not the time to act shocked now, people.
Right.
Don't act shocked. We've seen this movie. We've seen this movie so many times.
The ill thing, though, Big Ox, what you just said, we've seen this movie. You sitting in the movie theater hoping that it's a different ending. How many times you seen the movie? You know how it is. The Titanic sinks.
I hate that about myself. I really do that. I watch movies and be like, come on, bro. Come on.
Right. The Titanic is gonna sink. No matter how you want this thing to go the other way, the Titanic is gonna sink. That's the way it happened. Sorry.
Just delusional.
Right.
Brian Holiday. Salute to Ox, Chill, and the rest of the PC family. I am a casual fan, but I'd like to get my basketball knowledge up. What are some of the most historic playoff series that most fans miss out
on? Well, historic playoff series, what they do is they separate players. And for example, in '87, this is what separated Bird and Magic. Because at that point, Bird was still that dude. '87, Magic ended up winning the league MVP. They're already tied in the playoffs, 1-1, and Magic is now becoming that guy. And in '87, that's when he ends up separating himself from Bird. So the '87 finals was one of them. A playoff series that a lot of people don't talk about, Big Ox, the 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals between the Bulls and the Knicks. That was a fantastic series. And the Bulls ended up pulling it out in 7. What it did was it expanded who the Bulls were. That everybody just thought that when they got past the Pistons, that they were just going to go back to just being a chill team or just a fast-paced defensive team that was just fun to watch. And, they can't get it in the mud anymore. Well, they proved to the Knicks, we can still play like that. Absolutely. And then the 93 East Finals. Fantastic. That was that's one of the best series that I've ever seen. 100%. The 93 East Finals. Go check that out. And if you love domination, go check out the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers, how they steamrolled through the playoffs. Like you see the 2017 Warriors. If you go watch that 2001 Laker team, you're going to be flawed. I'm telling you.
No doubt, no doubt. I'd also recommend y'all go watch the 2002 Western Conference Finals.
Uh-oh. That was a great even though it didn't go the way Big Ox wanted it to go,
it was
that was an epic series, man. It was awesome. Epic series.
I do even, I say that a lot. Oh, we got robbed, whatever. That, it's basketball, whatever happened. I just do want people to go back and watch some of those series because I don't think people realize how good the Sacramento Kings were back in those days and how it took one of the top 3 team of all time to stop us.
If the Lakers, if Sac beats the Lakers, I think Sac wins the NBA championship.
Oh, for sure.
100%. I think they win in the NBA championship. If they would have got by the Lakers that year, I think they win the NBA championship.
Yeah. But it's not even this. We can't even dispute the fact that those Laker teams were, besides the '96 Bulls. I think that 2001 team was probably the best team I ever saw.
And Sac took them to 7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
After getting swept the year before, took them to 7 the next year.
Yeah.
How about that?
Assist. Not saying this makes Steph a top 5 player, but if you had an all-time draft, would you take him top 5, even if it's to keep him away from other teams?
No, because there's other guys that I want to keep away from other teams too.
Yeah, nah, because I would rather play Steph Curry than Shaquille O'Neal.
I do not want anything to do with Shaq. I don't.
I could think of a couple of cats, but with that being said, now that I'm thinking on it a little more, I don't have Steph top 10, but I think I'd rather play. There's a couple of cats I'll probably take. I'll probably rather play than play Steph Curry because Steph Curry on the right team with the right people, you don't want to play that. You don't.
No, you don't. You do not.
Yeah, so I can see that. All right, so. There goes a couple of super chats right there. But Chitson, I want to ask you. So far in the playoffs, we've seen what happened. Like with Milwaukee, we've seen some close series. We saw the Kings battle the Warriors, which surprised a lot of folks. I want to know from you, what's the most surprising thing you've seen, or most shocking thing you've seen this so far in the playoffs? It doesn't have to be a particular series. It could be anything, a particular game, a call, anything. What shocked you the most?
The Miami Heat, man. The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are the team, and I mentioned this to you in the past, Big Ox. The Miami Heat are that team. They're the dude at the party where you're like, what are you dudes doing here? Why are you guys here? But they just look so complete right now. And it's a lot of grit. It's a lot of hard work, right? It's a lot of grind with them. They don't blow you away with anything that they do. I'm watching this team and I'm thinking to myself, could they get to the NBA Finals? Could they actually make it to the Eastern Conference Championship? Watching this group, I'm especially watching them all season. They didn't do anything. I thought they were a first round exit 100%. No question about it. But now they're a team that I'm watching thinking to myself, I think that they could get to the East Finals. And I don't, to be honest with you, and I think that now the door is wide open in the Eastern Conference, and I think it's Boston's to lose, but I don't love Boston over Miami. I don't love them over Miami. I could say that I think Boston is going to beat them, but if you asking me, like you asked me before when we were talking about the 2001 Lakers, I'm down to bet the rent check that the Lakers win in the NBA championship. I ain't down to do that with the Boston Celtics.
That's not crazy to say too.
I'm not down to do that with them dudes, especially going up against the Miami Heat. I'm not loving them against them. So to talk about a team that shocked me, 100%, the Miami Heat. That's what shocked me the most in these playoffs.
I had a guy last night on the stream. I was streaming pretty late last night. I had a guy tell us that he had Miami Heat actually as his favorites to win the championship.
If they win the NBA championship, to be honest with you, Ox, I don't know. It'd be like Buster Douglas when he beat Mike Tyson. That's what it'd be like with me.
Salute everybody. For those who's new to the show, Chill is a Jason Tatum guy. Chill has been high. Chill and Ox has been high on the Celtics all season. So for them to even say that, nah, I'm outside. Like for them,
the heaven gates, bro. Birds chirping.
Salute SB. Not like for them to say that tells you how great Miami is playing with the effort they're shooting at, and most importantly, the coaching job that Eric Spo is doing. In my opinion, the best coach in the league. That should tell you how great the Miami is rolling right now. But before we get into these playoffs, gentlemen, I just want to I've been want to ask Big Ox and Chill this for a few days. Who would be a better player? Jason Kidd with Steph Curry shooting, or Magic with Pippen's defense?
Magic, I think.
Didn't we talk about this, Big Ox? That as good as Jason Kidd would be with stretching the defense and expanding the defense like that, Magic being able to defend like Scottie Pippen. Oh my goodness, we're talking about a dude now who is at 6'9", picking up full court. That's speeding up their game even more. That's speeding up their transition game even more. Now he's the point of the attack at the point guard spot. So now you got James. You think they play fast now. You got James Worthy. You got Michael Cooper. You got Byron Scott filling the lanes before. Now you got these dudes filling the lanes even more now. Right? Now Jabbar's running even more because Magic is picking pockets. Magic is slowing down their transition game. Man, Magic with Scottie Pippen's defense. Man, holy shit!
And you can say the same thing. Go
OG know me. I'm a big Jason Kidd guy. I think Kidd is like truly the best point guard of all time. But I think if you give Jason Kidd the jump shot during that time when he took the Nets to the finals, and Steph Curry range with his passing ability, I don't think it's nothing you can really do to Jason Kidd with his finishing ability too, being as solid as he is as a defender. I think he win a couple of those championships that he missed out on with his shooting ability because the dynamic of a Steph Curry shooting range from with Jason Kidd, I think that's a whole different dynamic of a player. So they're pretty much just saying to me, Jason Kidd, that's pretty much Jason Kidd with a shot is like add great defense, elite playmaking to Steph Curry, what he is now.
And size.
No, you know who Jason Kidd is? Think Russell Westbrook, except smarter and a long ball. That's Jason Kidd.
That's you can't stop him.
Who do you guys think? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Who do you guys think is a better defender, Scottie Pippen or Jason Kidd?
Scottie
Pippen.
That's the only reason I think that what's it called? Holy crap! I just forgot. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Jason. Magic had Scottie's defense.
The Magic man.
But I still think, and this is not to say Magic wasn't a good scorer. I still think he will still not be his scoring wouldn't elevate with Pippen's defense when with Jason Kidd's shooting ability literally taking away his only weekness. And not to mention go
the thing, Sturdy, I don't think you realize is how good a scorer Magic was. Like Magic,
and that's why I said he's a very good scorer.
Yeah.
And I'm saying Scottie Pippen's defense wouldn't, besides in a transition game more possessions, it wouldn't really change his scoring.
Oh yeah, it would actually. Sure it would, absolutely. And the reason why it would is because now you're talking, if you remember Scottie Pippen, you're talking about a dude in Scottie who's picking pockets at the half court. So now, in addition to me playing in the half court where Magic could shoot the basketball, Magic did have a good mid-range game, right? Magic did have a great layup package game where he could finish at the rim. But now what you're doing is you adding a dude who he's picking pockets. He's picking pockets at the half court line. He's picking pockets full court. He's now digging in on big men and getting block shots and now speeding up the game and scoring that way. Now getting easy runouts. That's now adding to his offensive arsenal because now I'm a better defender. Oh, he would be incredible, man. Incredible.
And what I want to get in on, because y'all was talking about, and me and you talk about this all the time, OG, about people anointing Curry a little bit too early. But I think Curry and LeBron is in a great perspective right now where they are both in a situation where they can gain a lot and they don't lose nothing. I don't think LeBron lose anything. Curry don't lose anything.
Right.
If Curry wins, I think for me personally, he'll be in my top 10. Everybody else run him higher. I think he'll be labeled the best point guard of all time because he got enough accolades. Even with him not being, he just cracked top 50 in points. I think top 50 in assists. He's not 100. He pretty much down on every other stat category besides the 3-point shot. Right. And then you got James. For me personally, I'm a Jordan guy. I told you this personally that if James win this championship, Finals MVP or not, I will put him, anoint him as a GOAT because I never seen nobody play this good, this long, and still be competing for a championship at the age that he at. So, like I said, everybody trying to say, like, I didn't like what Stephen A. did. That was just a media pull just to get everybody to react and saying that James would go down, which I don't understand why James would go down. His career solidified already that he's anointed at the point he's at. And Curry, and then also, I want your guys' opinion on this, everybody on the panel. I heard somebody say, Curry can't do nothing to surpass LeBron James, and I feel like the LeBron James fan base is turning to the Jordan fan base by saying there's nothing LeBron James can do. I feel like the guy is still playing and he's still enjoying his career. You can never say he can never be ahead of the guy. It's always possible. What y'all think about that?
Well, add that to the fact that not only is he still playing, it ain't like he just here. He's still playing at a high level. Steph Curry may be first team All NBA this year. I'm not sure, but he's definitely going to be an All Pro. So the fact that he's still playing and he's still playing at a high level, and he's still got more years of that left. It's not like this is the last year of Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry still got some more years left at this level. Now, when you're talking about him being elevated, that's what's going to elevate him. The fact that he still got years left. I don't think he can do anything to go the other way. I already feel like the same thing with James. And I've said this to you in the past. Yo, my man, we in year 20. If you haven't made up your mind by now, what are we doing here? What's going on? It's not like we're in year 12 and there's still more to go. James is in year 20. He's 38 years old. If you haven't made up your mind by now, then you're never going to make up your mind. I still think Curry can advance, and I still think that there's more things that he could do. But as far as James, man, we in year 20.
Yep. For me, I still give him a chance because he's playing. So that's why I'm fair about the situation. So I think he still has a chance to be anointed higher for me because he's still playing. His cement has not dried yet. He's still building blocks on it. It might be the last couple blocks on it, but he's still building blocks to that house and that legacy. So that's just
now when you think about James and you think about Curry and you think about, like you said, accolades. You know how I feel about being an All-Pro. I take being an All-Pro very seriously.
Me too.
And the fact that James from 2010 to 2019 was All-Pro all but one season. And that was the year he got hurt with the Lakers. So an entire decade, he was first team All-Pro.
That's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Steph Curry, of that decade, 4 times he was first team All-Pro. That's it. 4. Now, which means even though I never felt like Damian Lillard was ever better than Steph Curry. Never felt like that. Never felt like Russell Westbrook was ever better than Steph Curry. I never felt like that. However, there was conversation going on about these two guys. Big Ox just alluded to it. There was no conversation about James. This dude is the best player in the game.
Yep. Hey, OG, I got a question. Do you think Curry not having all defensive teams on his resume, do you think that hurt him?
I was going to get to that because this is what I'm talking about when you talk about the GOAT, the best to ever do it. It's in totality. And then you got a guy like Magic, for example, who was an average, maybe a little bit above average defender, but offensively, he was so good offensively overall that made up for a lot of his deficiencies defensively. When you're doing stuff like that, when you're talking about it, and when you're matching him up with other all-league defenders, now we're talking about something completely different because now I'm talking about somebody that's a more complete player.
Right.
Not only am I a more complete player, I'm a more complete player who's done it at a high level and done it on a bigger stage. Yeah. So you being an all-league defender, that translates to the playoffs. That translates to the finals, as opposed to, and you'll hear people say stuff like, well, there's guys who are just as good as defender, but never made the All-NBA team. I'm not listening to that. The reason why I'm not listening. I ain't going either. Like, I'm not listening to that because if you were that good, at some point you would have done it.
Yeah, you got to be. And I think for me, one of my criterias for my top 10 is like, have you ever been in a conversation or have you been the best player at your position or in the conversation as the best player in the league? You have to be in the top 10. You can't say you one of the top 10 greatest players if you've never been the best player at your position or the best player in the league, or at least in the conversation for me.
Fair. That's fair.
No doubt. Fellas, anybody got anything real quick that when they get off? We gotta keep it moving quick today, yo.
What's up, bro? Ben, I'll make quick suggestion. Yo, y'all can run this up to the CEOs, but can y'all do a PC player draft, but this time instead of players, individual games in the playoffs in the modern era. Same things like every other player draft, but like you just instead of drafting the players, you're drafting the individual performances.
You mean like what Jimmy just did in game? What was that, game 4? Or what Steph did in game 7?
Yep.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
That
yep.
Cool.
It don't have to be just this year. It could be in the modern era.
Well, by the way, Sturdy, they can hear you, Sturdy. They watching.
And by the way, Sturdy, you just put something on my mind last time I talked to you when I was on live, and I got to tell you, if Elgin Baylor had won a championship, we might be talking about him as a top 5 player all the time.
Yeah.
Man, Yo,
I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there. If he would have won it one time, just once, same thing like Malone. If he would have won it one time, we'd be having a conversation about him being a top 5 player all the time.
Hey, Big Eyes, I like how you brought up your old Kings. Look, they whatever story happened, they did get cheated. But when it comes to the shooter list, start giving Page some love. PGs give Bibby some love. C Webb was nice too. I think he was in the wrong era. Only thing C Webb did nasty was them Dadas with the.
He wasn't with the drama. He was in the right era. He just wasn't with the drama.
He was in a perfect era. He was in a
great era. He just wasn't with the drama. That's all it was. That's like a boxer who had a great boxer with great footwork, but had a glass jaw.
But his shoes was in there. Them Dadas with the inside wood grain with the car inside.
Garbage.
Nasty.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all for stopping me. Y'all
yo.
I got 2 things.
Yo, get them likes up.
What's up, brother?
Chill. I like what you were saying earlier. Do you think there was any season where Steph was a better player than LeBron in the last 8 years?
Never felt like he was ever better than James. Even when he won the league MVP in back-to-back seasons, I never felt like he was better than James, ever.
What about last season?
Last season. Are we talking about in his prime, or are we talking about? So, are we talking about
any season?
I think you can make the argument because I'm thinking about in his prime. I'm thinking about in James's prime. I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. So. I mean, we're talking about James starting to break down last season and the year before that. So you can, I think you can, I think we got a legit argument there, sure. Because I felt like after last season, I always felt like, all right, this was James's last season to be at the top of the league in terms of being the best player. I think after this season, not only is he going to start slowing down, I think we're going to start talking about him as a fringe top 10 player, simply because he's starting to break down. And I think you could start to put Curry. But when you're talking about him, we're talking about Curry in his prime. When I say his prime, I mean during from 2010 to 2020, I never felt like he was better than James at any point. No, I didn't.
And I think when it comes to the rivalry, this series right here is going to define everything. Because I feel like it's never been this balanced, honestly.
Well, the last time it was, if you remember, was in the 15-16 season. That was the last time it was balanced, right? Okay, you got your crew. My crew was hurt last year, but now I got my crew now. You got your crew. Let's do it. And then me and Big Ox just had this conversation. KD then came along and threw a monkey wrench in the whole damn thing.
You don't think the Lakers have a better roster right now than that 2016 Cavs team?
No.
I don't know.
With Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston and no, I don't think so. I thought that team was really good, man.
I mean the Cavs and the Lakers right now. Like 2016 Cavs, 2023 Lakers. You don't think the Lakers roster is better? Think about Anthony Davis. I don't see any great defender on the Cavs team besides.
They don't. James was their best defender.
Probably,
yeah. James was their best defender in 2016. Anthony Davis is their glass cleaner, but Kevin Love was their glass cleaner too. But Kyrie Irving and D'Angelo Russell in 2016, I think that's a wash. I don't think that's a question. Those two guys. J.R. Smith is better than Austin Reeves in 2016, 100%. Tristan Thompson is better than any dirty work guy that the Lakers got. Any one of them.
Hachimura?
Hachimura ain't a dirty work guy. He's a rotation guy. I personally think Hachimura is a starter, to be honest with you. I think he's a starter in the NBA, but no, I don't think that I don't think that this Laker roster is better than that Cavs roster. No, I don't think that.
All right,
Sebastian, we got to cut you off there, fam. I got Sebastian. I got to cut you off there.
I'm turning 20. I'm turning 20 today.
Hey,
happy birthday, brother!
Bro. Happy birthday,
brother! That's what's up.
You enjoy yourself. Be safe out there, man. Be safe.
Yeah. 100%.
Catch you next time, Sebastian.
Word.
Yeah, good kid.
I like
Sebastian a lot.
Yes, I do. 100%.
We got another super chat in here. Y'all know we're gonna get to him. Donovan Samuels. Besides AD playing better, what other adjustment do you feel the Lakers need to make for Game 3? Good question, Donovan.
To be honest with you, Donovan, I don't think there's any other adjustment. AD running to the rim. That's it. Because I think he's the difference in this series. He's going to be the difference in whether they win or lose. You saw what happened in Game 1 when he was dominant. They handled them 100%. Now, I do think that there's guys like Beasley who could play better. I would like to see Lonnie Walker more in the lineup. I still don't understand why he's not in the rotation. I think that him in the lineup, that would help. And the other adjustment is you got to get some help on Austin Reeves. You definitely got to get some help on Austin Reeves because Austin Reeves having to deal with Klay Thompson one-on-one, that's not going to work. You definitely got to get him. You definitely got to get him some help. 100%. You got to get him some help. But other than that, Anthony Davis just got to play better, Donovan. That's it.
Fellas. What's up? Y'all here? Y'all here? Good, y'all. What's good, y'all?
Listen. Look. I'm gonna
don't waste no time. Leave. We don't got a lot of
time, man. Hold up. I'm not gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get right to it. No, you didn't.
Okay. You lagging, Leaf.
I'm lagging. Hold on.
No, you good. You good. We can hear you now. You good. Are you good?
All right. Did it ever occur to people, bro, and as much as I despise both teams, did it ever occur to people that the Warriors are just smarter than everybody else? Like, only the Warriors could get somebody like JaMychal Green to be a factor in this series. Only the Warriors could get Looney, could neutralize Jordan Poole from being a damn nut house, limit his minutes in game 2, and then allow JaMychal Green and Draymond Green to be factors in that game. Did it ever occur to people that the Warriors are just smarter than everybody else?
No,
they know
it
how
doesn't.
to make
and the reason why
adjustments.
that logic doesn't work, because you would have said this. You got to say the same thing about the reason why it doesn't work, because you got to say the same thing about Miami. You don't care about Gabe Vincent. You don't care about what's his name, Caleb Martin. You don't care about him. But I tell you what, these guys are effective in the playoffs, and you know why they're effective? Because of the adjustments Spo is making. So no, the Warriors ain't just smarter than everybody else. That doesn't work.
I think in terms of their abilities to make adjustments from game to game and make them on the fly in terms of how they doing the lineups, man, I think the Warriors are smarter than everybody else, because whatever they lack in, they figure out how to counter react it. The thing is, in game 2, they bought. Let's be real truthful about it, man. In game 2, they bodied up AD more. We all know he Terry Cloth. You pet him, he go down. You remember that movie, Chill, Out of Sight, with Don Cheadle? What was his nickname?
Oh.
What was his nickname in that? You pet him, he go down. That's basically AD, and they leaning on AD to carry that. I noticed when the Lakers, when AD is struggling and the Lakers don't shoot over 20 free throws, they could barely crack 100 points. Barely. They cracked 100 last game, and in the game that they got blown out by Memphis, they had 99. So my thing is like the Warriors, to me, bro, they got plan A, B, C, D, F, E, F. They know how to counter react. That's what we got to come to the conclusion of, man. Like, and I think that's going to show if they win this series, especially if they win these next 3 games, because they know what the hell they doing. I think they got
real good coaching. 100%. They got really good. They got great coaching. Steve Kerr is not a bad coach. He's a fantastic.
Steve Kerr and 100%. That coaching staff and everybody that minds the instinct, and everybody know what they know what they doing.
But you said about you did mention him leaning on AD. I mean, Jaren Jackson leaned on AD and he gave him work. You could be physical AD, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to stop him. I mean, Giannis leaned on him. He put 40 and 20 on him. So that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to stop him. AD is just inconsistent, and I don't think it has anything to do. I think it's everything about his drive, nothing else. It's about his drive, period.
And here's the thing. In the case of the Warriors, they not only figure out how to neutralize on defense, but they figure out who to attack on offense. You brought up Austin Reeves. He's starting to look like steak and crab dinner in the series.
Looking like a lunch.
Yes, he's starting to look like lunch. He's starting to look like how he was looking like before the trade deadline. And then down the stretch in these games, they just picking on him, and LeBron is standing around waiting for the rebound. That's what he's starting to look like. So let's be real about what we're seeing here.
I don't like it. What you got, my man? What you got, my man? What up, brother?
Yo, is it possible, bro? Is it possible that AD has just been getting hurt so much that like it seems like he just playing methodical, like he just playing in motion a lot of games, and sometimes it works where he can get like 30 and 15, but then sometimes it doesn't work and he'll just get like 16 and 12. So it just seemed like the man just been getting hurt so much. It might be like psychological at this point.
So he instead of him playing, just playing, he's playing not to get hurt, and it's just working out sometimes.
That's what it seemed like. It seemed like he's playing like methodical, like just try to get his numbers a little bit to the point where I believe he's still trying to win.
Right.
It's just like kind of psychological for him. Like I feel like he's just been getting hurt so much that when he kind of looking for like a dive boggle on the floor, I don't think he's probably trying to dive for it because he think about getting hurt.
Which could happen, yeah. Which and that's a real thing. That is a real thing psychologically. I've seen Derrick Rose do that, right? I've seen Derrick Rose do that. Dudes who've gotten hurt in the past, and they play, but they don't play as hard. But AD does play hard. But that logic of him being a little methodical about playing, all right, I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna play good enough where I don't get hurt. Not I'm gonna play good enough just to get numbers. I'm just gonna play good enough where I don't get hurt, because at any point I could go down. Yeah. Which every time he hit the floor, man, I'm cringing every time he hits the floor. I'm thinking he's not gonna get up.
Him and Joel Embiid, bro, they got the same problems to me.
Great.
And for a minute before I get the segue, I wanted to get to that Philly series. Yo, is it
real
me?
quick? Is Ezekiel?
I'm here.
What up, Zeke? What up, Zeke?
I just wanted to go to that Philly series, and I was just thinking, like, honestly, I think Doc should try to play through the guards more instead of trying to force feed Embiid, because without Embiid, the team plays a lot faster. The ball movement is there. Harden's in his groove. Maxi's in his groove. Instead of just force feeding Embiid and trying to make him a passer, because to be honest, the only other people who could cut back door is honestly sometimes Maxi and maybe Tobias, and then Harden is just shot or miss. I think you should probably try to play through the guards more. What y'all think?
Chilltown, you don't believe that, do you?
Not a bit. Sorry.
I don't. Go ahead. Why not?
For one reason and one reason only. James Harden, I know you. That's it.
Hey,
I know you.
And that's the question I was going to ask you, Chill. Like, I was going to ask you, where do you have James Harden ranked all the time as a shooting guard? Like, do you have him top 5?
I don't have James Harden in the shooting guard conversation because I have him in the same conversation with Jerry West and Allen Iverson. I think he's more of a combo guard than a shooting guard. I don't have him with dudes like Jordan and Bryant, because Jordan, Bryant, D Wade, Reggie Miller, Clay, those dudes played off guard. He played with James Harden plays with the basketball, and he doesn't really play off the ball that much. So I think he's more of a combo guard than he is a two guard, just like Steph Curry.
Did y'all see the? I know, Leaf. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I made a list a couple months ago of all the shooting guards.
Oh yeah. I was laughing my ass off when I seen that. Oh my god.
You had him ranked up?
He had John Starks over. Oh my god.
John Starks.
Wait.
Yeah.
Give me Kerry Kittles.
Over who?
You nasty.
over James Harden, bro.
Oh my god.
You nasty.
Kerry
Sidney Moncrief. I
didn't hear Nick Van Exel. I didn't hear. I'm like,
I can see the Nick Van Exel a point guard though.
Big Ox, you did not have Kerry Kittles over James Harden.
Definitely had Kerry Kittles. Yeah,
I got Kerry Kittles, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell.
Oh my god.
Oh man. But one more point I need to make about that series, and I agree to a buddy point on my other side. I agree with him to play through the guards, but play through James Harden in spurts where he's more comfortable in one-on-one situations. Realistically, Tobias Harris hasn't been playing bad in his playoffs.
He has not.
He's been actually capitalizing on a lot of his opportunities and a lot of his one-on-one opportunities, and I think they could harp on that. The thing that I noticed most when Joel is not out there, everybody on the court got more energy. They more in attack mode. They more focused on what they need to do. Yep. So if they could continue to do that and let James Harden close the games in certain portions of the games where he don't have to carry and he don't have to go for 45 every night.
Hey, you were making sense until you said let James Harden close out, but I don't know about that one. You were making a lot of sense until you said that.
I was making sense, Ty. So all right, James Harden not closing. All right, let Maxey close out because he proved he could close out.
Yeah, I like Maxey.
And I said going forward in Chilltown, we had this conversation. I said Maxey was going to be the biggest X factor for them going forward, and he's proved that, and he's went beyond that. You know, and one-on-ones and speed and opportunity situations and transition, he cannot be stopped.
First of all, y'all already know where I'm at with Maxey. I wanted to give Maxey the ball. I wanted to let James Harden walk out the front door. I wanted to give Maxey the ball.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I wanted to do.
I wanted to chime in, but
and I got roasted for that.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but when we're watching the Sixers and we're thinking like, oh, just give Embiid the ball as the best player, but we can see that the guards are struggling every time we just force feed Embiid the ball. I don't know why y'all think that we should not play through the guard and just play through Embiid.
The reason why here's the problem with that, though, Zeke. The reason why it's a problem is where you have him. It's not giving Joel Embiid the ball. It's where you're giving it to him. So Joel Embiid is getting the ball at the top of the key. He's getting the ball at the 3-point line. Ain't no spacing up there because you got all 5 guys, and Joel Embiid is such a presence that you can't really have a lot of space. You don't really have a lot of space to operate. Now, when you give Joel Embiid the ball, when you're running it through him, when he's on the block or he's in the mid post, now there's more ground for other people to cover when they got to double him, as opposed to when you giving him the ball at the 3-point line. Well, it ain't really that hard for us to jump him when I'm already standing right there. That's not really a lot of ground for me to cover, as opposed to when he's on the block and he's kicking it out to Maxey or he's kicking it out to James Harden. There's more ground to cover.
So isn't that a coaching thing?
Absolutely,
100%.
It's a Doc. No, it's a Doc Rivers thing. Let's get that right down the point. And I strongly believe that. Listen, I was laughing about it because I said Doc don't want to go up 3-1 in this series because we all know what can happen.
Oh no!
That's cold.
We all know what can happen if you go 3-1.
Yeah.
So he probably could deal with the 2-2 split. Probably get one back, but they need to clean this shit up. This bottom line, they need to clean this up.
I don't know. To be honest with you, y'all wow with this Philly thing. I said this already, and I stand on it. Boston making quick work of these dudes. They are.
This is a wrap.
I don't think
Boston making quick work of these dudes.
It's not even their defense that's the problem.
Boston is vulnerable. They ain't that
Absolutely,
good.
they are. No, they not. I ain't gonna fight that.
They could be exposed in this series more.
Not by Philly though. Not by Philly though. Not by Philly.
See, I think it could be Philly. They just play too slow with Embiid on the court.
That's what it is. And if they speed it up with Maxey, then that's going to be the open. Now you got to get old head 30-something-year-old Al Horford coming out, and now you got to get them to help. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, real quick, Leaf. Before I do let y'all go, because we do got to move on in a second. I just want to say I don't understand, and like I've been hearing this from Ticket, a couple guys on the panel. I don't understand how do you have the MVP on the floor and you not playing through him anymore when you play through him all season.
We all know he ain't no damn MVP. That was just let him have it, man. He got
the MVP, bro. He is the MVP.
We get he's the MVP, but you have to do what's gonna work. If force feeding him is not working, then we gotta try something else.
At least don't act like it wasn't legit. Like anybody could have won it, but the fact that don't act like it. Why we talking like this dude that he was 19 a game? I mean, damn, 30 and 30.
They just didn't give it to him because of the narrative of winning 3 straight. Y'all all know that.
30 and 10.
Y'all all know how this voting and politics work, man.
Damn,
don't make me take it away from basketball.
Please don't.
Yeah, please.
Don't do that.
Yeah, here we go with that garbage. I'm good. No.
All
right, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hey, appreciate y'all stopping by, though. It's always love. Y'all stay tapped in. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Of course, man.
Lakers in 6.
Man.
Lakers in 6. I hear you. Oh, man. Shit, I know you ain't capping, are you?
What up?
Oh, shit, I was just moving too slow. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt.
We'll get into some more of these super chats, you know. That's how we do. Well, first, let me not be an L host. Let me shout out our GOAT members. We got 3 of them. We got Comatose, Haramis, and Dorian Clayton. We appreciate y'all. If you want to be a GOAT member as well, the link is down there. All you got to do is click on it and make it happen. Also, if you've been in here for a while, there's over 700 of you. Have you liked the video yet? If you haven't, make sure you do it. It ain't nothing but a click. It's everything is just a click away, yo. That's real simple.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you feeling it. Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Okay, Cam, I see you trying to get personal today. Chill. How did you feel about the Shaq Kobe beef as it was happening? Did you take a side? Were you mad? Were you mad at both of them? How did you feel when Kobe said he got one more than Shaq?
Well, we'll start with the conversation. We'll start the conversation with how did I feel about the beef when it was happening? I was disappointed in it, man. I was disappointed in it. I wasn't mad more than I was disappointed because I knew what this thing was and I knew what it could turn into. And I always felt like this, Ox. When you got the formula, you don't pour it down the drain. And we got the formula here. And there's no reason to ruin this. No reason to ruin this whatsoever. So I was disappointed. Like, damn, man. Like, you guys can't screw this up, yo. This is something that's Magic and Jabbar. This is Jordan and Pippen. And you dudes getting into what you're getting into. This is nonsense. But, of course, I was thinking about how good Shaq was. And I was thinking about the big man and the big man in the past and how good they were. And how not only how awesome they were, what it led to. And it led to championships. And we need to run the offense through the big man. But I also saw how good Kobe Bryant was. And not only how good he was, I saw how much he wanted to show how good he was. It wasn't a situation where he was just out here going, all right, we're just going to keep throwing the ball into the big fella. No, I'm not Scottie Pippen. I'm better than that. And I want to show that I'm better than that. And that's all it was at the time. That's all it was at the time. So it was disappointing, but it was also great to watch too. Definitely great to watch. And the fact that he got one more than Shaq, that didn't bother me. I actually thought it was dope, to be honest with you. The fact that he got one more championship, I thought it was dope that he was able to do that. But no, it didn't bother me at all.
All right. Assist tab back in. He said, "Do you think Ham can find ways? Do you think Ham can't find ways to get AD the ball?"
They don't run a complex offense. They run an offense where AD either runs to the free throw line or he's at the box. So it's not a difficult offense that they run. And when they get him the ball, there's not a lot of action off the basketball. So they don't really do a lot. They don't really do a lot where defenses put them in a position where they can't get him the ball. They could get Anthony Davis the ball wherever he wants the ball, wherever he wants it. If he wants it on the block, if he wants it on the low block, if he wants it in the mid post, if he wants it at the top where he can shoot mid-range jump shots, if he wants it there, he can get it there. I don't think that there's a situation where Ham can't get him the basketball. Yeah, Ham can get him the ball. He can find ways to get him the ball. I don't think that that's true at all.
Yeah, I believe so. Christopher D, can we have a discussion on KD still being in his prime at this point in his career?
Yeah, let's do that. Sure. I asked this question. This was last year. I asked the question, are we starting to see the beginning of the end of KD? This was last year when he was in Brooklyn, and he ended up getting hurt again, and he was out for like 2 months. But I also said, if you look at KD and his game, the skill set is still there. The athleticism is still there. He's just on the other side of who he used to be. The injuries are starting to slow him down, but he could still do a lot of the other stuff he used to be able to do. Now, if you watched the game yesterday, well, I thought the Denver Nuggets did a good job of putting pressure on KD. KD still gets to his spots. KD still can shoot the basketball. He can still do that stuff. The question is how long can he do it? That's the difference. Kind of like with James. Like you'll see James doing what he does in stretches. You're not going to get that out of James for the entire season because he's going to break down at some point. Well, the same logic goes with KD. KD still got the goods. 100% he still does. It's just that can he do it for a longer period of time? And when you get to this point, these are the questions that you have to start asking because, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He'll be 35 in September, 100%.
Yes, he will. Let me see this one. This one's kind of interesting. Malcolm Walcott, Nets propaganda is back. Chill. How you not a Nets fan, bro? I heard you from Jersey. Also, Damon Siakam / Cat coming to Brooklyn this summer.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I'm not a Nets fan, and I'm not a Nets fan because when I was coming up, not only was the Nets garbage, it was better players that I really dug. I dug Philly when I was growing up. And I'm from Jersey, but I was a Philly fan. I dug Doc. I dug Moses. I dug Andrew Toney. I dug Maurice Cheeks. And it wasn't like because I'm from Jersey, I gotta like the Nets. I mean, I gotta like the Giants too, because I'm from Jersey. No, I'm a 49er fan. Absolutely not. So Dame and Siakam or Cat coming to Brooklyn next summer. Well, I don't know if I don't know if I love Siakam. I mean, I don't know if I love Siakam. I actually like Cat in Brooklyn. I don't know if I love Dame in Brooklyn, though. I don't know if I love Dame in Brooklyn. And you're gonna have to, in order to get Dame, you're gonna have to give up something significant to get him.
Very significant.
You're gonna have to give up something significant to get him.
Foreign topics. KD looks real Adrian Dantley-ish now.
Kind of slower than what he was a couple years ago, but the game's still there. If you can remember Adrian Dantley, like when he was with the Pistons, when he was on the other side of it, I mean, the game was still there. He could still do a lot of that other stuff. He just was slower. And KD still got the goods. He's just slower. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. You would expect him to lose a step by now, you know.
Of course. What are we in yet? What are we in now, Ox? Yes, he came in 17. So what are we in? He came in 07. So we got to be in what year? 16. That's a lot of miles on you, man. 16, 17 now.
Yeah, that's a while.
That's a lot of miles on you, man.
Gideon. Jaylen Brown has James Harden in jail, shooting 5 for 28.
It's James Harden. It's James Harden, man. I mean, I'm not going to discount Jaylen Brown's defense because I love it. He's all over James Harden, 100%. James Harden tries to get to the rim. He's blocking shots. He's making them take difficult shots. But remember who we talking about, yo. We talking about James Harden. Like I just told you, Big Ox, don't act like you don't know me. You know me. You seen me already. Don't act like this is new. You know me.
Man, y'all know him. He don't need no introduction, man. Y'all know him.
You know him. Stop acting like you don't know him. You know him.
Man. My man Daniel Smith. Devin Booker needs a supporting cast, not a co-star.
Then you shouldn't have traded all your assets for Kevin Durant. Then how about that? Because you had a damn good team, right? Not a co-star. You had a damn good team before you ended up getting KD. Moving off KD, moving on, getting KD on the roster and moving off all of those pieces that you had. Yeah, a lot different, way different.
So this super chat here is going to lead us into what we were talking about next anyway. Mm-hmm. So definitely appreciate you, X Love Tay. Mm-hmm. Who y'all got winning the games today?
I got Miami. I got Miami coming down and winning game 3 simply because, first of all, Jimmy Butler has had a week of rest. So he ain't played since last Saturday, I think. Yeah, he hasn't played since last Saturday. So he should be good. Not only should he be good, the fact that Kyle Lowry has now gotten 3 days rest. A lot of those guys are banged up. I mean, and you're banged up in the playoffs anyway. But the fact that these guys were able to get 3 days of rest, that really helps. And Julius Randle was able to get some rest too. But I think the way that the Miami Heat have been playing, getting Jimmy Butler back in the lineup, Kevin Love getting on the backboard, cleaning glass and stretching the defense, I think they handled the Knicks today. I do.
You're muted.
True Hero, Young Africa, Levi. Y'all care to tap into that?
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's the crack?
What up, chill, man? I had when you said the adjustments to the Lakers, right? As a Laker fan watching that game, let me give you an adjustment that I saw before I asked my question about the Lakers, right? And it's the hot pick and roll, right? So they did a hot pick and roll. Steph Curry, Draymond Green comes up, sets the pick, right? Great screener. Vanderbilt on the other side of the screen. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry, as you know, doesn't need much space to get his shot off. Right. Mm-hmm. So AD comes up, pressure has to contest. And when you contest Curry, you got to come up very high. Right. drop off to Draymond Green, corner shooter.
This young Africa, I just recognize the voice. What's up, bro?
Yeah, it is, man. Ox, what's up, man?
My bad for cutting you off, bro. I just recognize that's you. What's going
it's
on,
all
fam?
good, man.
Said drop off to
There's a beam
Draymond.
at the end of the tunnel. Ox, there's a beam at the end of the tunnel, man. It's all good, man. It's all good.
You said drop off. You said drop to Draymond. That's where we was at.
Drop to Draymond,
right?
JaMychal Curry, and then LeBron has to, or whoever's defending JaMychal has to collapse, right? Draymond going to the paint and drop off to JaMychal Green, corner 3. So my adjustment would be in that situation because they're going to continue to do that. Steph Curry's playmaking essentially dissected the Lakers. Do you switch the pick and roll straight up and just let AD? Because there's a situation where Darvin Ham got to make a choice, right? Curry get off 1-on-1, stay on the shooters, or go heavy on Curry and allow the other guys to beat you. They beat us in game 2. So what you say no to the switch, AD 1-on-1, Curry on the perimeter.
So when you got that pick and roll action with Draymond, if Anthony Davis is covering him, right? What Anthony Davis does a good job at, being the athlete that he is, right? Being the athlete that he is, he does a great job in chasing guys off the screens and giving you enough time to get back to screen, giving you enough time to get back to your man. Now Curry is going to shoot the long ball. Okay, I'll live with that. But I'm definitely going to live with JaMychal Green shooting threes all night. I'm so cool with that. I have no problem with JaMychal Green shooting threes all night, 100%. With Curry, with Curry coming off the pick and roll and getting the basketball to Draymond, I think you're in a bit of a precarious situation because now you're making Draymond be a playmaker when he's great as a playmaker, right? He's great as a playmaker and as a facilitator. So he'll get other guys involved. And he's a threat at getting to the basket. So how do you adjust to that? Well, you adjust to that with when you chasing off screens and you get to and the ball gets to Draymond, you want to be in a position where you're at least in front of Draymond. You don't want to trail him. You want to stay in front of him. That way, if he's going to make a play, he's got to make a play in front of you. You don't want Draymond making plays where you're trailing him because he's really good at doing stuff like that. And again, I'm living with JaMychal Green shooting threes all night. And this isn't a Rudy Gobert situation where Rudy struggles on the perimeter. Anthony Davis actually can defend on the perimeter. He can defend on the perimeter, and he has no problem defending on the perimeter. The problem is the motivation. I think that's where the problem is.
So you think AD can hedge quick enough and at the same time recover to Draymond and still stay in front of him at the same time?
I think he did. I think he did that. I think he did that. Not just this series. He also did that in the Lakers series with John Morant. So Anthony Davis is a really good pick and roll defender, 100%.
Okay.
Hello, guys.
Dub in the house.
What's up, Dub? What's going on,
Dub
fam?
C.
I'm good, man. You know, it was a great Cinco de Mayo, so
it looked like it got wild. It looked like it got wild. It did.
Oh,
it looked
man,
like it got wild.
It was a wild time, and I'm going live. But as I was, watching the game and trying to, watch the game and have a good time, there was just somebody on my screen that I just couldn't help but to notice, going 3 for 14 or 3 for 11, and going up against the Boston Celtics against the elite defense. Like I said, and I know Chill has been on this case with me too about frauding. He's not that guy.
I think all 3 of us up here are the ones that know. No, we're not get James Harden no slack.
And there were people trying to tell me that this guy right now was better than John Wall. Are y'all kidding me? Is this your king? Come on, man. There was a Philly fan in the building, and I was arguing with her the whole time. Not the whole time, but I got mad.
Last night?
Yes, bro. I was so mad because I'm arguing with her about the Sixers and about James
She was ready
Harden
to fight
being
you,
a fraud. Bro, she yelling and shit. And I'm over here, and I got so mad because I started going to other places afterwards, and it was on everybody's Instagram, bro. I was chilling with some chicks. She was like, "Oh, is this you in the video talking to this girl? I knew you was a hoe." I said, "What?"
Here we go.
I was like, "No way."
What are we talking about, yo?
I'm trying, and I told her, I said, "Yo, I would love you to get on the show so that we could cook this shit about the Sixers, man."
You got her number? Shoot her the link. I
got her. I texted her literally today. She was like, "I gotta watch the highlights. I'm not ready today."
Dub, you might be wild. You might be wild, Dub, with that with the James Harden, John Wall thing. But with that being said, I think you're a little nasty with the James Harden, John Wall thing. I do. However,
okay, go ahead.
However, once again, Big Ox, we gotta stop acting like we don't know this dude. We know him. Okay, and everybody, when you saw James Harden go for 45, all right, here we go. And I said this to Ox. James Harden is the chick that just got out of rehab. Hair looks full, skin looks great. I'm telling you right now, she's gonna disappear for 3 days. You're gonna put her back in the hood. You're gonna put her back in the hood, and she's gonna disappear for 3 days. And you're not gonna be able to find her. I'm telling you. The hood is the playoffs. That's what it is. The hood is the playoffs. And what's going to happen is she's going to go missing for 3 or 4 days where you can't find her.
She on the block.
Yo, that is crazy analogy, bro.
Hey, that's a goated analogy. But let me real quick, let me make sure, because I don't know if you misunderstood. Dub is saying prime John Wall versus this James Harden, like 2016-17 John Wall. This James
versus
Harden.
The current James Harden.
And when this guy brought up,
those two dudes is different. All right, because I thought you meant prime John Wall and prime James Harden. I'm like, whoa, hang on.
Oh no, that is wild. No.
I'm like, hold on. Now this James Harden that we talking about against prime John Wall, I don't know if that's ridiculous. I don't know if it's completely ridiculous to say that. I don't
think it is either, bro. I get called a hater just for saying it. I'm a hater because of it. Now you put crackhead Harden out here. That's wild. Chill. That was a crazy bar that you spit. I would say that crazy bar. I love it though. I love it. That hurt my heart. I'm about to cry right now. You know what?
I'm just saying, B.
Who we got? True. Did you get off?
Yo, chill.
What's going on, fam?
What up?
Get in here.
Yeah,
what up?
I'm chilling. Chill. First, I want to say you was right. Being together with a crew matters, man. Like with the Rockets in the 90s, and I think that's the same thing with the Warriors. And y'all, I don't know why people talking about LeBron and Curry. No. But I think we could talk about Curry and Kobe. And let me give my reason on this. So chill. You said you got Kobe over him because mind you said they both started out the same. Wasn't the didn't come in nice for me till like years later. And you said the difference was that Kobe was nice on the defensive end. I will get with that, but I can't get with that because there's a lot of dudes elite on both sides of the ball. You got Curry over, like Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen. And now I know Scottie might be a little tricky because he didn't get a Finals MVP. But Dub, let me know if I'm lying. Before Curry won the chip last year, people still had him around that 10-11 range before the Finals MVP. Am I lying?
Yeah, you are.
Probably not y'all, but people
all
definitely
time?
had. Yeah. Nobody had Curry in the top 20, even without the Finals MVP. So, yeah, chill. If you gonna have Kobe over Curry based off that, you gotta have dudes like Kawhi, Scottie, because they both was elite, both sides of the ball too.
I want to make sure I'm understanding you correct. So the logic is I got Steph Curry, I got Kobe Bryant over Curry simply on the defensive side of the basketball. That's the separator. That's not just the separator. That's not the separator. We're talking about in the playoffs. Not only are we talking about in the playoffs, we're talking about at his position where that entire time, him being first team All NBA for a decade, him being in the conversation as the best player in the game. I mean, there was a stretch where.
Well, hold on, chill. See, I just got you. Chill asked you, was there every year Curry was the best player in the world? You said no. Same thing with Kobe. You just said you never thought Kobe was the best player in the world either. So
when did I ever say that? When did I ever say
that?
When did I ever say he was never the best player in the world?
I remember you saying you don't ever think Kobe was better.
I'm glad you brought that up. So let's rewind the clock back to. Okay, let's rewind the clock. I never thought that. Here's the difference. The difference is in 2008, 2009, and 2010. Yeah. So he was in the finals, won the NBA championship, won the NBA championship again, and the finals MVP again. So he was a league MVP. Not only was he the league MVP, he was the finals MVP 2 straight years. So with that being said, no matter how I feel about him, I can't deny the fact that this is the best player on the planet. I can't deny that. That is a fact. No matter how I feel about him. So put the bullets back. Put the bullets back in the gun that you're shooting at me. Put them back in. Put those bullets back in.
Wait, hold on. Wait, keep going on your point though. Keep going on your point on why Kobe is still higher.
Once again, we're talking about a guy who, at that point, I couldn't deny the fact that he was the best player in the game. But when I think about what Kobe Bryant did, and I think about what not only what I think about what Kobe Bryant did and what Steph Curry did. Kobe Bryant. So we're talking about from 2000, I want to say 2002 to 2012. First team All-NBA. There wasn't a question of whether or not he was the best two guard in the league. With Damian Lillard making first team All-NBA, with Russell Westbrook winning the league MVP, people started having conversations. Even though I never thought that, people was having conversations. There wasn't a conversation of whether or not Kobe Bryant was the best two guard in the league. Never. At any point. At no point was there ever that conversation. Ever. And add that to the fact that keep going. And add that to the fact that with him being as good as he was and playing at the high level that he played at, he did that for over a decade. He did that for a decade. Now, Curry hasn't been there yet. Curry's been awesome for a long period of time, but we're coming up on a decade.
All right, so chill. I'm gonna wrap it up, Ox, and then let the next dude go. Cause chill, obviously, feel me. If Curry won the chip analogy, feel me, he will have to move up. And in order for him to move up for your list, that means he will have to pass Kobe. How far you got that gap right now? Like, if you could just show me how far you got that gap. Like, if it like
championships aren't enough, man. The championships aren't enough. That's not, and that's your logic. Your logic is just championships.
No. I
care about stuff like league MVPs and first team All NBAs and first team All Defense. I care about that stuff.
No, it's not that. It's cause for your list, cause nobody like for where you rank Kobe, because nobody have Kobe as people who have like 5, 6. For your list, I'm saying for Curry to be a top player for your list, he will have to pass Kobe. But with his resume, feel me, you can't deny.
How would he have to pass? Wait a minute, I don't understand your logic. For my list, Curry would have to get another, because what you're trying to do, you're trying to put words in my mouth and tell me that Curry has to get another championship to pass Kobe. I never said that.
No. Look, Ox, well, you got Kobe in your top 10 list, Ox. What you have him?
Now, leave me out of this, bro. Y'all got it.
No.
That's gonna make it way more confusing. I got Kobe at 5.
Most people have around Kobe like 6. Chill. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying the dudes they have like at 10, like Wilt, but it's not a conversation for Wilt, because in order for Curry to be a top 10 player for your list, he will have to pass Kobe first, which you don't think he ever will. Which I'm saying Curry will never be a top 10 player in your list. You know what I'm saying?
He shouldn't be though. He shouldn't be though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. All right, hey, Levi, what's up, bro? You got something for us, or you just came to kick it?
Did we lose him?
Yeah. All right, so we got to move on either way.
Let me ask you one more question, and I'm gonna slot though. And this is just about LeBron James, right? And it's about his greatness, right? Year 20, a great player. And I just want to ask you straight up: do you think that the basketball community that you speak to appreciates the history and the greatness that we're watching right now when we talk about LeBron James?
No, they don't. In fact, all they talk about is putting other people in front of him, like what we hear about now. If Curry wins another championship, now he got to come off the Mount Rushmore. If Curry wins another championship, I got to listen to people. Curry is the best player of his generation. If Curry wins another championship, Jordan this and this guy that. No, they don't. The fact that we got a dude that's in year 20 that we're talking about who could possibly be chasing another championship in year 20, and the fact that we still have people talking about him like other guys are still ahead of him, or other guys could possibly go ahead of him, and not appreciating how awesome he actually still is. And he's not what he used to be, and he's still awesome. It's crazy to me.
That's not true. Everyone's loving LeBron James for how long he's played. Even MJ stans are like, nah. Ticket, for example, Kevin Garnett. A lot of people in the NBA media be like, nah, bro, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Right. And playing at this level is wild. But when you lose 6 finals in your whole entire career, when Michael Jordan did more in less time, I mean, it's just a difference in comparison. So he gets praised for playing that long, but hey, there's a lot of failures in his career, and this
is what I mean.
And I think that's what makes him. The funny thing that you mentioned that there's a lot of failures in his career. That's what makes him so awesome, because of the fact of all the failures that he's had. has he what he did when he came back after those. So that 2011 finals, Dub, he could have folded up. He could have. We could have.
I'm not praising the dude. No, I'm not praising the
straight
dude.
finals.
I'm not praising the dude for doing what he should have done.
I could have. He could have folded right up. He could have folded right up. Instead, he came back better. Back better after getting swept at 22 years old. He could have folded up and came back, and he could have folded right up. Instead, he came back, won the league MVP 2 more years, and started making the all-league defensive team. The fact that his triumphs after he failed makes it even better.
So you will put more value into a guy failing. I do think triumph is important, but a guy failing and then triumphing compared to a guy who was just consistently triumphing, consistently being that guy, and consistently never had those moments.
Okay, well, first of all, he didn't, because once again, what you're doing right now is you're putting his career in 1991. His career didn't start in 1991. Okay. He consistently had failures. And then once he got over that, how awesome was he after those failures?
Okay, cool.
Jay, let's bring up
since we're gonna bring up everything before LeBron was failing in Cleveland. LeBron was failed his whole time in Cleveland, and then it's 8-9 years of failure compared to Michael Jordan's 4, 5, and then on top of that, he was still balling out against a dynasty in the Boston Celtics. He balled out against them with you like giving LeBron credit for carrying the Cavs. MJ was carrying a terrible Cavs too when he was on the Bulls before Scottie came around.
100% he was. That was a damn good team. That was a damn good team he was going up against. 100%, no question about that.
And see, go ahead. My bad, Chill.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I was about to say this is the essence of my question, Ryan. I'm gonna slide, but see, I asked about appreciating the greatness of LeBron James, right? And a lot of the conversation revolves around the flaws of LeBron James. And see, this is why I say, the penalty for being so great is the GOAT debate. And how amazing is the penalty of being so great for so long makes you have to now talk about what he hasn't done compared to the next guy that you feel is the greatest of all time. That is a penalty for being so great. So what we're really saying is he's been so great for so long, but because he doesn't measure up to somebody else who, as Dub said, hasn't done it in a shorter amount of time, hasn't done it in this. That's why I asked the essence of the question of, do we appreciate it enough? We watching history, Dub. History every
Dub,
time the man walks on the court, bro.
You just brought something up really interesting, Dub, because I think that there's a huge part of me that feels like when Jay first retired, I think that's the best thing that happened in his career. I think that's the best thing that happened in his career. 100%.
Because he never lost in the finals.
Not only that, the fact that, let's just say for the sake of argument, he does. Or let's just say
was he ducking Hakeem?
Well, all I know is I told this story before. It's December of 1992. They had lost to the Rockets for the 5th time in 6 tries. And the reporter asked Jay, Jay said to the reporter, quote, "It's a good thing they can't ever get out of the West." And the reporter said, "Why is that?" He said, quote, "Because we got no answer for that monster that they got. I don't know if we can beat them." End quote. I don't think Jay loses one night of sleep knowing that he didn't have to see Olajuwon in the finals. Because there's guys that he's like, man, I wouldn't have mind playing against him. I don't think he wanted anything to do with Olajuwon. But with that being said, him quitting at that time and him going away, we didn't get to see Jay's failures and then him come right back again. We got to see him walk away from the game and then come back. We did see him in 95. I think that's a bit of an incompletion because he came back in the middle of the season and he wasn't really that guy. But then we saw him come back again, and then we saw him quit again. So we didn't get to see what could have been. And then we got to see him come back in Washington, and he was washed by that point. Jay was over.
Yeah, Young Africa, I'm a move you out, Young Africa. We got to get this next group in, fam. Appreciate you stopping by, bro.
You got. Oh man, Chill. I'm not gonna lie. I got to cook you on this LeBron thing.
Let's hear it.
And Kobe Bryant, I'm not gonna lie. We're either today or the next time I'm on the panel with you, Kobe Bryant's gonna make your top 10 list. I promise you.
It's really bad. Stop pushing narratives, dog.
It's not a narrative. It's a fact. It's a fact. We can do it now. Do y'all want to do it now?
No, we don't got time, Dub. You know, I'm about to start getting text messages in 10 minutes, bro. So.
I got you, bro. Hey, y'all be easy though, fam.
The higher.
You sliding up? You can stick around.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know.
I'm gonna do a stream after y'all done, so I'm gonna go get that ready. Eat
For
some
sure.
food.
Bet.
I gotta drink some water too, man.
Dub C,
Hey,
drink
yeah,
water. Don't drink and drive.
Hello, dog.
Be easy, Dub C.
Salute, man.
What's happening, fellas? What's the word?
What up?
All right. What's going on? Salute. Chill. What's the word, my
What
guy?
up? What up? What up?
Hey, Nets and Six Guts, y'all in here, bro? This our last group, but unfortunately, it's gonna be about 5 minutes, y'all. So y'all get it
What's
on.
up, brother? What up?
Ooh.
That's cool.
What's up, y'all?
I just wanted to, I hear that everybody's kind of, I mean, I heard some of the people was throwing like a little KD, so not in this one, but I was hearing the discourse just in general after that Suns and the Suns and the Nuggets game, and everybody was saying that KD was getting carried by Book. I understand what they mean by that in this series. Yes, Book is definitely taking the bulk share of the offense responsibility, whether it's playmaking, just not playmaking, but just setting up the offense, setting up the flow, getting them into the offense. But I think KD's rim pressure the whole game, and I think just it was kind of like he battled a lot. Like just that rim pressure, attacking the rim, taking timely shots toward the end as well. I think if they don't have that rim pressure from KD, we're looking at a different ball game, to be honest with you, because we can't rely on Devin Booker to shoot that well. He missed 5 shots, guys. He missed only 5 shots.
He was awesome yesterday, y'all.
So the expectation for him to shoot at that high clip is not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna put your baskets into that, that's not a good thing. So I think Kevin Durant's rim pressure that game was very tactical, right? It was like kind of setting the tone over and over and over. The Nuggets would get into a rhythm, but then they would get a counter strike. Like KD's rim pressure will be that counter strike that knock them back, right? You know what I mean? And like keep them at bay, or like a good jab that was keeping them at bay, and they was able to finish it off. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I want to highlight. I think KD, although he's not shooting the ball well, I think he played just as an important game as Devin Booker yesterday.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. I also think that with that group, I think Jamal Murray let them off the hook yesterday. What I mean when I say that is him standing behind the 3-point line and just taking the threes that they gave him when he could get into the mid-range. He could get past Shamet whenever he wants.
Easily.
Not only could he get past Shamet, he could get past Cameron Payne when he was switching on him. He could get whatever he wanted in the mid-range. And I can't
I'm talking about Jamal Murray.
I can't put a value on how big a deal it is as a scorer to see the ball go in the basket. The basket gets bigger when you do that. But when you stand behind the 3-point line and you just shooting the basketball all night, that's gonna happen. Your confidence is gonna go the other way. And then now you're gonna start rushing. And I felt like Jamal Murray, he kind of did himself a disservice not playing more in the mid-range and getting downhill.
Agreed. 100%. I agree. I want somebody else to go because I want to counter that. But go ahead. Yo,
6 Guts, y'all here?
Yo,
what up?
I've been saying this about this Nuggets series. The Suns don't have like anything to counterpunch what the Nuggets can do when they get hot.
I mean, they got almost 90.
It's not gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a long series, man.
I mean, they got almost 90 from KD and Devin Booker. I mean, how sustainable is that?
They're straining themselves.
That's what I mean. How sustainable is that? How sustainable is that they got 88, 87 from them 2 dudes yesterday? Exactly. How sustainable is that?
But I think so. Here's the thing. Like, I agree with you guys. I think the production isn't sustainable, right? However, the play style is still sustainable. I think campaign pushing the pace. I think if you notice, they took very early shots, right? And helped them out with just keeping the Nuggets frantic. Keeping the Jokic tired. If you notice, KD pushed the ball, especially when they would get off misses. KD, once he realized Jokic was behind him, he would go to the rack. You know what I mean? So that IQ, that awareness of wearing Jokic down, keeping the ball at a high tempo, I think they can do that. But we also have to shout out to Monty Williams finally unloading the clip and using his bench, right? Finally bringing in Terrence Ross, who I don't understand why he wasn't getting playing time. It might be a defensive thing. However, at this point, you need offense, and your offense is your offense might be able to deter the Nuggets just like defense. You get what I'm saying? So I think Terrence Ross shot making, he can also shot create as well. The playmaking, you don't really rely on him on playmaking, but I think he provides enough of a different burst, a different twitch, a different bop that can be effective. And I think they should try at least to put Wainwright in. Just try it out. At this point, you got no choice. You should try to put Wainwright, see what he can do on some of the switches. You know what I mean? Be a bigger body because he's kind of stocky. He has some size to him. You know what I mean? So I just I think they just got to go to the bench more and try it out. You know what I mean?
Man,
you know the ill thing, Big Ox. You know the ill thing, Big Ox. I should care about this Denver series more than I do, but I don't. And I don't know why. I really don't know why I don't.
The Suns years.
You don't know why you invested? You don't know why?
I don't know why. Like why do I not care about this more than I should?
Right now. They're just
That's
not.
probably what it is. Maybe it's KD, and I'm looking at a old unit, not an old unit, a disjointed unit, and I should care about this series more than I do, and I don't. I don't care. It's not that I don't care about it completely, but I should care about this series more than I do, and I just don't.
Well, I think the reason why, and maybe it might be, I don't want to project, but I think for me personally, I think it's the fact that we're not seeing the full potential of the team, right? KD got there in the middle of the year, the rhythm, the tempo. On top of that, too, we also have to take, we have to accept it that KD isn't the same player anymore, right?
No, he isn't.
The true sign is that I think we were talking about it yesterday, is that KD has been getting blocked from either the side or the behind this whole playoffs. Like Russell, started from Russell Westbrook. Now, Russell Westbrook knows KD's dribble cadence, but even the elevation in his jump shot, although he has the high point, you know what I mean, a high release, he's getting blocked. So that means the lift is gone. You get what I'm saying? So, and you can tell even when to turn the corner, he has to kind of put some effort into that extra gear just to turn that corner to hit the rim. So I think it's just the natural regression of his athleticism, not his game.
Real quick though, context. Hey, Nets and 6. You got something you want to get off before we wrap it up, bro? Because we got to get to your super chats.
Not really. I would want to say that I don't necessarily think KD's. I just really think this is a situation with the team. Like this is more so a team thing. Mm-hmm. They get one offseason in under their belt, get some perimeter defense on the roster. Get rid of DeAndre, and I think this Suns team is going to be dangerous next year. I just don't think it's this year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can get with that.
Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Good looking, showing that love, man. But y'all know you're on that time crunch. Y'all come get with us on Wednesday, though.
That's a fact. Salute, fellas. Salute.
All love.
You already know, man.
Yep.
All right, let's get down.
So we got a chat. We got a comment in here. And I don't really bother too much with the comments, but we got to do it in here. John Wan, he says Chilltown lost to Kobe in a 1-on-1 in his prime, and Kobe was 5 years younger than him. That's why Chill ranks Kobe outside of his top 10. That's crazy. So think about that for a second, Big Ox. So we're talking about a dude who was 19 years old, right? Who was 19 years old, who I played 1-on-1 as a kid, and I'm holding on to that 30 years later. Still holding on to that after everything he did in the league. That's what we doing. No, that's goofy.
Now, child, I haven't really heard that story about y'all playing 1-on-1. Maybe we could get into that on Wednesday, or if you want to, you could run it down right now. If you however, I would love to hear it.
Real quick. So I had just gotten out of college. This was in the summer of '97. I had been out of college. I had been out of college a year. This was in the summer of '97. I was living in Los Angeles, and I was chasing the dream. So those runs that they have at UCLA, I was a part of that, and I would come up there, and there was runs, there was games where I was the only one that was on the floor that wasn't in the NBA. That was because they would pick me. But I'm playing. I'm up there working out one day. Bryant's in the gym. Bryant shows up in the gym, and Derek Fisher is on one end. So it's only three of us. So he's on the other side. So I stepped to Kobe and I asked him, "Yo, you want to work out? You want to do some drills?" Because I had some stuff that I remember from high school, playing for Coach Early and stuff like that. So we started going over some stuff, and he was really digging it. Right? He was really digging it, and we continue to do this. So we're going about 20, 25 minutes into it, and we're going over some stuff. So he just says to me out the blue, "Yo, you want to play 1-on-1?" I was like, "Word, let's play 1-on-1." So we go at it, and when I say we go at it, I'm talking about. I ain't really and again, we talking about a 19-year-old. I had just gotten out of college, so I ain't really tripping off this dude. This is a 19-year-old kid, so I'm not really like losing my mind. He's not Kobe Bryant yet, so I'm not losing my mind about him. This is a 19-year-old kid, but I'm digging in my bag going up against him. Right? I'm going, and it's serious. We going at it, and I ended up losing to him the first game. He beat me 11-9. Right? He beat me 11-9. So he says, "All right, let's play again." was almost like he was studying me or something like that. Because when I tell you, Ox, the next game we played, he beat me 11-0. I didn't score. The next game. In fact, I can remember, I think I got the ball back twice. I think I might have gotten the ball back twice. And I remember I was so in awe of this dude. I was like, yo, if that's what the NBA looked like, I don't have a chance. if it looked like that, oh my God. But a buddy of mine told me, he was like, no, it's not like that. You just ran up on somebody that was special. That's all that was.
Right. Yeah, Kobe was doing that to cats that was in the NBA.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's fire. Mm-hmm. Just to have the experience to play Kobe
100%. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was.
We got some Angie Carr tapped in. Hold on. I'm gonna get to hers. I'm gonna get to hers first. Angie Carr. We always hear about players saving a super team's legacy. Example, Ray Allen to LeBron. Does that apply to Shaw and Kobe with who he shot in Game 5?
You can make that argument. You can definitely make that argument because in Game 4, if they lose that game, they go down 3-1. They go down 3-1, and we having a completely different conversation about that Lakers team because I don't know if they come back from being down 3-1, right? So you can make that argument. Same thing. Robert Horry did it in Houston with that Houston team. So we've had guys who've made big shots. I forgot the guy's name that played for the 76ers, came off the bench in 80, 83, who basically kicked the Lakers' ass when they had Moses and they had Doc and Pat Riley didn't even plan for him. So you've had guys, you can apply that also. And don't forget, Angie, in 2000, when they played against the Portland Trailblazers in the West Finals, it was Bryant Shaw, it was Rick Fye, it was guys like that got them back in that game. They were down 15 in the fourth quarter. They were down 15, and the Trailblazers had complete control of that game. It was Bryant Shaw, it was Derek Fisher, guys like that got them back in the game.
Let's see. Spool, what does the Trail Sprewell stat line look like today?
Spree is awesome, yo. Spree is definitely a 25 a game guy today, 100%. The energy and the transition player that he is, Spree is a 25 to 27 a game guy, 125, 27, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. That's what he looked like. Maybe 6 rebounds.
Let me see the Trail. I would love to see the Trail play today.
Yeah, yo.
The Tribe won. Okay, hold on. Luka, Shea, Dame, Curry, Halliburton, Ja, Trey, Fox, Drew, Murray, Garland, Spider, Bill, Harden, Book, Jaylen Brown, Zach, Ant, Jimmy Butler, Claw, LeBron, JT, B.I., Mikhail, Giannis, AD, KD, PG, Pascal, Jokic, Joel, Cat. That's 32 players. Is Kyrie top 20? I say no.
I'm taking Kyrie over Halliburton. Definitely taking him over Halliburton. I'm not sure that I'm not sure I'm taking Mikal Bridges over Kyrie Irving either.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm doing that.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not taking Darius Garland over Kyrie Irving either. No, I'm not.
It's hard for me to imagine Kyrie not being top 20 in the NBA right now.
I'm not taking that dude over him either. So 100%.
It's Mr. GQ to you. KD was trash last night. Shot 12 free throws in the second quarter alone. Shot 12 from 31 and was bailed out by flopping and falling down every time he shoots.
It was the second quarter in particular where he really struggled. The second quarter was where he really struggled, where they put pressure on him in the mid-range. They basically pushed him off of his spots and made him take tough shots and miss a lot of tough shots. So it was the second quarter in particular where I remember him struggling the most.
Ezekiel Barney, Chilltown. What should the Lakers do to help AR with his matchup with Klay? Because Klay killing us. Should they try someone else on him? What do you think?
I think that they need to get more double teams, to be honest with you. You can't just take them. See, the thing about the playoffs is you can't hide guys, right? You can't hide guys. So I think one of the things that has to happen is steering Klay toward the basket, playing on the top side, doing what you can to keep the basketball away from him. So when he's getting screened, help him out on screens. Help him on screens, hopefully not just double, but help him shoot gaps more than anything. Because as much as you can keep the ball away from him, that's how you throw Klay off rhythm. But when Klay gets the ball, hopefully you can help him in double teams. But you can't just keep leaving AR on Klay Thompson one-on-one. Nah, you can't do that.
That's what I mean. It's a rough matchup, man.
It is, yo. It is, big ops. It is.
Hey, if y'all keep jumping in the studio, bro, y'all gonna get blocked, bro. I don't need y'all jumping in the studio no more. We're not bringing up no more guests. So stay out the lobby, bro. I'm about to block you. Chris White. Not having Kobe at number 2 is wildly disrespectful. Bron couldn't do anything with him.
If you say so, brother.
All right. Okay. Appreciate the super chat, Chris. All love.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. 100%.
Donovan Samuels. Let's tap back in. Excuse me, y'all. That's allergy season, man.
I know it.
Donovan Samuels. Dub showed up for the Harden slander. What was alarming to me was James Harden lost complete confidence and went into Ben Simmons mode last night.
He did. I mean, again, man, I don't know why that everybody's so surprised about this. This is who this dude is, yo. He goes the other way. And when he goes the other way, he goes the other way.
Yeah. He goes far the other way.
Yes.
Chris White. In 2011, he did fold right up. Brown was getting locked by JJ Barea. MJ would never.
That's the same MJ that got when they was up in the series in 1989 in the Eastern Conference Championship. He went from 35 to 22 a game. So just remember that. And they lost that series too.
Chill. If Portland won the series in 2000, are the Lakers dismantled?
I think we're having a different conversation, Angie, because that completely wrecked the Trailblazers. They didn't win another playoff series until Damian Lillard hit that shot in 2013. I think for 14 years, they didn't win another playoff series. I think you see a different Laker team if they lose that, because that's the third year in a row. They got swept twice, and now they lose again in the West Finals.
Man, that was a great series, too.
Oh, it was awesome. 100% awesome.
That lob, that's one of the iconic plays in the NBA. You know, you got some iconic ones, and that's definitely one of them. OG, did you feel that aura when you played Kobe?
I felt like he was different.
Yeah,
I did feel like that. I'm not gonna say like that Jordan. I just felt like, yo, this dude different. He is.
How about D Book last night? I'm happy to ask that. Man.
Yeah, he was awesome, yo. 100%. He was buckets. He was getting whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and he was awesome. 100%. He was awesome.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little different about D Book. Real quick, because I think me and Tyson last night we were talking about it. Is there many stat lines like that? Shoot 2 free throws, go for 47 on 25 shots, and shoot 2 free throws? That's amazing.
Big Ox, what we call that where I'm from that's called being on top of your shit. Oh, he was on top of his shit last night.
That might be an understatement. I don't even know.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I'm on top of my shit tonight. And that's what he was, 100%. And I don't use language like that, but that's what I saw last night. I saw a dude who was on top of his you-know-what last night.
Man. Alexander Lafort. By the way, love the content. Stay safe, guys.
100%, brother. You too. Thank you.
We appreciate that, Alexander. We appreciate it.
Sir.
I've got a couple more. They're coming in now. Let me see. What was this one? Underdog BG. Is there a way to negate Draymond on defense by having AD in the open court more? AD does have point guard skills. Can he take Green off the dribble?
Underdog, let's take the dribble out. How about we do this? How about you just run to the rim? How about that? Run to the rim. Draymond can't do anything with that. He's too small. Just run to the rim. And you can get him in the mid post. You could get him in the mid post. You could get him on the box and run right to the rim. I think that negates everything else.
Angie Carr again. Spurs win this chip in 13. Are they going back to back?
Nope. They lose in 14 because that's just the Spurs. The Spurs, they never. If they would have won it in 13, they wouldn't have won it in 14. That's why they won it in 14 because they didn't win it in 13.
What's up with the Spurs in that? Why I never understood. How come y'all couldn't get all those championships in those 20 years? Y'all couldn't get any back-to-backs, which is fine by me. I don't feel like that's a knock on that dynasty at all. But
in fact, Big Ox, that was the first time that they went to the finals in back-to-back seasons. They hadn't done it before that.
Oh, because they didn't go in 04. They went in 03 and 05. Oh, okay.
And in 07. They didn't go in 06. They went in 07. So
yeah. Well, Chilltown, right before we get out of here, can I just get, because I don't think we got your prediction on the Lakers Warriors tonight.
Yeah.
Can we get that quick prediction before we head out?
I think that the Lakers handle them tonight. I think they come home with a different energy. Anthony Davis is different in game 3. I think the defensive scheme will be different. I think that they handle them tonight in game 3. I think the Lakers handle them. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, everybody that's viewing, we appreciate y'all for coming by. Appreciate y'all showing love. Chilltown, you got anything for the people?
Take it light, but take it. And like Big Ox said, don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive, y'all. Take care of yourself. Read a book.